Welcome back to the Tidarium Hangar. This is Mike. I'm coming at you with yet another video, and this time I want to talk to you about the two different RCs that are out on the Masterpiece. So the two Masterpiece options that we have on the market right now is the Fanstoys Rouge, not Rogue, Rouge, and then Toyworld's Leia. Now then, there's also Zeta's version, which is a metallic version, and they're making a Zeta Leia or whatever that is. I prefer the more G1 look to it myself. But anyway, this whole setup and how I have it going on is to homage the Fanstoys Hot Rod that's coming out. There's a promotional picture they did, and I'm going to show that to you real quick. I just want to say that these guys that make the Fanstoys are definitely fans, and it's just kind of funny how they put this promotional picture together. I thought it was hilarious, and just wanted to see if I can recreate it with just the MP Hot Rod, and I think I did alright. So first I want to get into size comparisons of the two. So I really think that the Toyworld Leia fits what I think the size should be of Arcee. Because I have long felt that, well, first off, I like the 12-inch, and we shouldn't have gone away from that, but we got away from that. But then you start putting her up next to other MPs of the official, you start wondering, you know, what's the right size? And I think Toyworld's, I actually feel she's still a little short, but we've got other issues. But we'll get into that. But I like her size better, and she's a little bit more stable for me, for my copy, than this one is. I have a little bit of trouble with her kind of falling down sometimes when I'm trying to do a pose with her, but this one I think is easier to pose, and this one is well, you can get her to pose, she'll keep it there. It's just a little bit more challenging, but this one has more articulation, so there's pluses and minuses. I like the Toyworld. I'm going to continue to display the Toyworld, and I've done it for over a year now. I've been displaying it, and I really like the Leia, and I really don't think she looks bad. I think she's really close to the animation, and she looks good. Now, we're not going to compare the car modes, obviously, because Toyworld Leia doesn't really have a car mode. Oh, pause. Okay, as you can see, you have to be careful when you handle the Fanstoys, because the way the transformation is, the chest doesn't tab in strong enough that you have to hold it different. And the weight. I mean, it has the weight. She still weighs more. Shorter, weighs more than the taller. It is what it is. So, ultimately, I think that the comparison of how she looks next to MP09 is the most important, and I really think looks better over here. I think that the Toyworld Leia next to MP09 size and proportions, and just, I think she looks good. There are panel lines in there, but there's not as much articulation and not as many seams as in over here. So I just think she's too small. I think she almost looks Voyager, not Master. And you're talking a half a head, but overall, I just think aesthetically, the Toyworld one, I still like it more. And I think somebody bash on it and say they don't even touch it, or don't want to have anything to do with it, or they think it looks terrible, and I don't. I don't get that. Why people think that something that's so close to the animation model is such a miss. I don't think it's a miss. Now let's compare them to Cup. So this is the Fanstoys Cup, Coot, and he is, I think, a great looking representation of Cup, and I'm excited about X-Transbot's version coming out, but I don't think anyone's going to beat the aesthetics of this. Even X-Transbots, who is, in my opinion, one of the top two in the game in aesthetics, isn't going to beat him. And if you put them side by side, they're made by the same company, and I'm going to try to adjust this so you can see. And she's slightly shorter than Cup, and that's the way it should be. And if you look at Toyworld, she's slightly taller than Cup, and it should not be that way. But I would love to have the Fanstoys one sized up by 20%. I'd feel a little bit better about that. In fact, I think that Cup, it's just my opinion. Opinions matter, right? But Cup should be just a little bit taller and just about as tall as Tesla, in my opinion. And if you can see Tesla, or just a little bit more, you can see his head. That's about how tall he should be, in my opinion. So, really, I do think we should have gone a little bit bigger, and I don't like all of these lines that are in her. Now I'm a Fanstoys fan, but I do think that this figure, I probably would have been just happy if I stayed with my Toyworld Leia, and that was all I ever had in my collection. Okay, so next to Hot Rod, and I think that the Hoodlum's going to be the same height. Hopefully Hoodlum gains an inch or two from the Fanstoys version of Hot Rod than the official, and hopefully I can pose this thing right. But I haven't had much trouble with these guys standing until just this second. Huh. But anyway, I like the way Toyworld looks with him, but I think he's too short. I think that I guess these two actually look better side by side. If you're going to display it like that, this one's better. If you can display her with Hot Rod. So really, I think keeping that in mind is important. So the Fanstoys would be better. And so it's kind of all what you think. And truly, I'm going to keep this one on my masterpiece shelf. And I know there's an MMC one coming out, and I think that it's kind of more like this one here. But we'll see. We'll see which one, how that one comes out. I probably might get that, might not. I don't know. But then the other thing is, nobody else has done a comparison of these two. And here's why, and I've got a theory why. I think most of the reviewers who actually did review the Toyworld version sent her back and waited for Fanstoys. And I think that when... I'm surprised that they haven't, after the Fanstoys one come out, picked up the Toyworld one. Maybe just for the size and height and the stability issues. But on the flip side there, they send it off, or they got a test sample, or they sold theirs off, or whatever, and don't have it for comparison purposes. So I haven't seen one, and I've watched multiple reviews. And I was the late bloomer on buying the Fanstoys version. Got a pretty good deal, I guess. Like $10 less than everyone else. But the thing is that I don't think she blows Toyworld out of the way in robot mode. It blows out of the water in car mode. We all know that. It's not even an argument. So to have her so I can have one to put in a car mode probably is good. But anyway, I want to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions and what you think, why nobody else has this one. Titanium Hanger out.